kindly remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by members of the Buffalo State Chamber Choir, directed by Associate Professor of Music, Victoria Furby. The colors are presented by Buffalo State College University Police Honor Guard.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose spark strikes and bright stars through the perilous fight? For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets went there, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening, everyone. Please be seated. I am Melissa Brinson, and as a member of the Buffalo State College Council, I have the privilege to declare this 145th commencement at Buffalo State College officially convened. I welcome each of you to the 2017 commencement ceremony, and I extend warm congratulations to our graduates. I'd like to now introduce the members of our platform party, and I ask them to stand as I call their names. Please hold your applause until all the platform party members have been introduced. Our mace bearer, Betty Capella, Distinguished Service Professor Emerita. SUNY Chancellor's Award for Student Excellence recipient, Monique S. Owens. Recipient of the President's Medal for Outstanding Graduate Student, Heather J. McCarthy. Ms. McCarthy is also student speaker for this commencement ceremony. SUNY Trustee and Student Assembly President, Mark Cohen. Graduate Student Association President, Daniel Shaw. The Academic and Administrative Deans of Buffalo State. Buffalo State Provost, Melanie Perot. Buffalo State College Council members could not be here with us this evening. I am here with you. Student elected representatives to the College Council, C.A.S. McCrae. Dr. Baharia Sharif Trask, who will deliver our commencement address. And the 9th President of Buffalo State College, Katherine Conway-Turner. And I'd also like to thank Associate Professor Roger Firestein from our International Center for Studies in Creativity for serving as our announcer this evening, as well as Tom Kohler from the Athletic Department, who will read our graduates' names. I now invite President Katherine Conway-Turner to offer her welcoming remarks.
To the families, friends, alumni, honored guests, and especially the class of 2017, good evening. On behalf of the faculty and staff at Buffalo State College, I welcome you to the 145th Annual Graduate Commencement Exercises. Graduates, I know that this is a day that you have anticipated for some time. I'm sure there are moments when you thought the day might be further away into the future than you'd planned. But here we are, celebrating your accomplishments with enthusiasm and pride as you prepare to move on to the next phase of your lives. Congratulations. You have successfully completed your graduate degrees and certifications. You represent some of the best and brightest within our world. And today, graduates call 7 countries beside the United States their home. Graduates in the room are from the United States, primarily New York, Canada, China, Colombia, Dominican Republic, India, Saudi Arabia, and Thailand. Some of you accomplished your studies while juggling other responsibilities, such as careers and children and family and community commitments. You have each made hard decisions and personal sacrifices to arrive at this destination. You've had help along the way from faculty, staff, family, friends, mentors, and fellow classmates. We are all extremely proud of you. We hope that while you were here, you have cultivated a better understanding of your talents and the ways to apply them. We believe your Buffalo State degree has prepared you for a lifetime of successes and leadership. Your Buffalo State degree has prepared you to lead and give voice to that which will elevate our world. Whether you are or will serve as a scientist, a writer, an art conservator, an educator, or lead in another way, use your expertise to move our world forward. Unfortunately, we continue to see hateful attitudes and unfair acts in our world, and such acts have unfolded across our recorded history. As awful as it is to witness or face such cruelty, these acts of war, inhumanity, and aggression have the possibility of energizing us to make sure they never occur again. Just last week, I watched an interview with a 79-year-old Ben Ferenz, who prosecuted war criminals after World War II. He, along with other prosecutors, led the Nuremberg trials, where men were found guilty of killing millions of Jewish citizens and others. It was a graphic and sober reminder of the reality of war. One quote Ben Ferenz said really haunted me. Nuremberg taught me that creating a world of tolerance and compassion would be a long and arduous task. And also learned that if we did not devote ourselves to developing effective world law, the same cruel mentality that made the Holocaust possible might one day destroy the entire human race. End quote. Wars, massacres, bigotry, discrimination have not stopped even after something as horrific as the Holocaust occurred. Many horrible acts, including centuries of enslavement of African Americans in the United States, have occurred before Nuremberg, and hateful acts and violence against the innocent and wars continue today. These images fill our computer and television screens every day in 2017, and such acts exist near us, across the country, and around the globe. So why do I mention these atrocities at our celebration today? I do so because I believe that as you enter the elite group of citizens in the United States with a graduate degree, that you are poised to not only keep pace with the world around you, but you can embody the peace and change we want to see in our world. If you want a sustainable, just, and fair world, you can be a part of crafting such a world. Your Buffalo State degree gives you the tools and the leadership skills to move forward and to be a part of a world that shapes a positive future. Commencement is the beginning of your next chapter. I have confidence that the chapters ahead will allow you to not only dream of a better way, but participate in the realization of your dreams. I look forward to hearing of your future successes as you build on the firm foundation of your Buffalo State College graduate education. I look forward to the realization of your dreams that will launch our world ahead in ways that are positive, sustainable, and inclusive, and will enlighten the world that our future generations will inherit. So I have a lot at stake when I think about your graduation. So again, congratulations, class of 2017, and welcome to you all. This year, a number of our students, both graduate and undergraduate, have been honored by the State University of New York with the Chancellor's Award for Student Excellence. The Chancellor's Award is the highest honor bestowed by the State University of New York upon a student. The award recognizes model students who have integrated academic excellence with achievement in areas such as athletics, community service, creative and performing arts, entrepreneurship, leadership, and career achievement. These students were formally recognized by the Chancellor last month in Albany. At Buffalo State, it has been a long tradition of ours to present these fine students to the faculty, staff, and their fellow graduates at commencement. It is my pleasure to acknowledge one of our honored students at this ceremony. You will find a full description of each of our students' accomplishments in the program. These awards bring distinction to the recipient and honor to Buffalo State. Would Monique Owens please come forward? Today, Monique S. Owens graduates with a Master's of Public Administration degree, attaining a 3.85 GPA, while working full-time as a documentation and learning specialist for Open Buffalo, a nonprofit activist organization dedicated to social and economic justice. Mrs. Owens completed her master's project on evaluating third sector participation in local emergency management planning and presented her findings at the annual meeting of the American Society of Public Administration, becoming the first Buffalo State MPA student to present at this competitive national conference. Beyond her academic accomplishments, Mrs. Owens has shown a commitment to community service and the enhancement of social equity, working in Buffalo as an advocate for a variety of vulnerable and historically marginalized communities. With an energetic, outgoing, personal demeanor, Monique has successfully maintained the highest level of academic standing while putting her research into action. We are proud to honor Monique Owens as a recipient of the SUNY Chancellor's Award for Student Excellence. Congratulations. And now I ask Heather J. McCarthy to please come forward. We are extremely proud to recognize our student speaker for this evening's commencement ceremony, Heather J. McCarthy, with the highest graduate student award given at Buffalo State College, the President's Medal for Outstanding Graduate Student. Heather McCarthy is graduating today with a Master's of Arts degree in Multidisciplinary Studies, attaining a 3.95 GPA, while customizing her studies to align with her career goals in geology and geoscience education. Heather's master's thesis focused on student attitudes and engagement in undergraduate geoscience courses. Her research objective was to identify better ways to engage with students, and she developed and employed an institutional review board-approved survey to gain a better understanding of how to increase science literacy and natural science foundational courses. She's presenting her findings at the annual meeting of the Geological Society of America in 2016. Heather not only excels academically, but is involved outside the classroom as well. She has volunteered for the Family's Child Advocacy Network for more than a decade, assisting children who live with social, emotional, or behavioral disorders or have been involved in the juvenile justice system. She is an embodiment of high standards in higher education, as well as the effective use of education to improve society. For these reasons and many more, I am pleased and proud to present Heather McCarthy with the President's Medal for Outstanding Graduate Student. And now I invite Heather to deliver the student address.
Hello. How are you? Some of you might say you're doing good. Perhaps you might say that you're doing well. To this I ask, what is the difference between your responses? What is the difference between doing good and doing well? In our immediate sphere, we want to do well. Having chosen this path of personal and professional development, we are seeking to improve ourselves and, in turn, improve the quality of life we live. We seek to have our needs and many of our wants fulfilled. We have sought out learning and have developed and honed our skills with the guidance of our esteemed advisors and professors, to whom we are especially grateful. We understand that by taking the steps we have taken in order to obtain an advanced degree or certificate, that we have increased our potential for doing well. We do that with an eye toward our future selves, our families, and those we love. But how does that differ from doing good? When we do good, we are in service to others. Our time at Buffalo State has taught us the importance of serving our campus and our community. We are a campus that holds the door open for one another. We offer friendly smiles, and we occasionally pick up the tab for someone else's coffee. We are a campus that understands our relationship with the Western New York community and strives to improve the conditions around us through word and deed. We are graduates of a school that exemplifies the act of service. I am honored to stand with you today, fellow Bengals, at the beginning of our next great adventure. As we celebrate this wonderful event with our loved ones, I have a challenge for you. I challenge you to not only do well, but to also do good. Together, we can become the change we wish to see in this world. We can do well, do good, and build a stronger tomorrow. Now let's go change the world. Thank you.
So you can see why we're all so proud of Heather, challenging us all to go out and do good. Thank you, Heather, for those inspiring words, and congratulations on your well-deserved recognition today. It is now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for the 145th Graduate Commencement Ceremony at Buffalo State College, Dr. Bahira Sharif Trask. Dr. Trask is a professor of Human Development and Family Studies at the University of Delaware and an internationally respected scholar of the complexity of global families. Over the course of her academic career, Professor Trask has focused on teaching, researching, writing, and speaking about issues of diversity, gender, work and family, and within a changing world. She is a strong proponent of the view that both diversity and gender are broad dynamic concepts that encompass varied belief structures and are informed by the influence of our social historical context. In her most recent book, Globalization and Families, Accelerated Systematic Social Change, Dr. Trask especially analyzed the relationship between globalizing forces and transformations in the social order, and she focuses on the rapid and complex consequences of these changes. In today's global environment, it is becoming more and more important to act and think in a more culturally inclusive manner. Dr. Trask's message to us today will certainly give us valuable food for thought. At this time, I invite Dr. Bahira Sharif Trask to the podium to deliver our keynote address.
President Conway-Turner, faculty, staff, administrators, honored guests, alumni, parents, families, friends, and especially graduating students. Good afternoon or good evening, and congratulations on an enormous achievement. I'm very honored that I was invited to speak to you today. 21 years ago, I was in your same place. I had just earned my graduate degree. It had been a difficult but also eye-opening experience. I had learned to look at the world from new perspectives. I had made new friends. I had traveled to new exotic places for my research. What I didn't realize at that time, 21 years ago, was how much newness I would really be encountering in the near future, how much the world was going to change around me, and how rapidly that was going to occur. The year I graduated, we were still using landline rotary phones. I had just bought my first desktop computer, and it was the size of a microwave oven. And that spring, I had been on the internet for the very first time, at that time, very slow internet. At our graduation, little did I or my friends or our teachers know how dramatically communication was just about to change, that the internet was about to transform the way we connect to others around the globe, and how knowledge would move from being in the realm of some to being available to all who had web access. Little did I know that day that through the internet, the places which I had thought of as far away would one day seem near to me, that I would be able to follow events that occurred across the globe in real time, that I would be able to converse with multiple people in different places around the world simultaneously while seeing them all on a screen right in front of me. I know that to all of you today listening, that seems so normal now, but in 1996, only 21 years ago, for most of us, that was still the stuff of science fiction. The day I graduated, I did not realize that through the forces of economic, political, social, and technological globalization, the world would so rapidly become so much more complex. Due to globalization, we now bridge geographic distances in new ways. Due to globalization, our economies and our jobs have been irrevocably changed. Due to globalization, we now need new skill sets and new funds of knowledge. Maybe most importantly, we are being exposed to new values, belief systems, and practices. You and I are meeting, collaborating, working, and competing with people from around the globe. In a very short period of time, the way we live, learn, and love has been transformed. All of you seated here are the lucky ones. Through your education at Buffalo State, you have met fine scholars and you have learned how to think critically, write well, and push yourselves to higher limits. You have learned how to evaluate multiple perspectives, and you have acquired specific skill sets depending on your field of expertise. I know it's been hard work. I know at times you've been tired, lonely, frustrated, or broke, or all of the above. For many of you, pizza and ramen has been the staple of your diet for years. But at other times, you have felt proud, excited, motivated, and energized. All of these feelings and all of these experiences are part of graduate school. Graduate school teaches you how to become a professional and how to stand on your own feet. The good news is that now your diet and sleep patterns may also improve. However, I'm not sure that graduate school or any other form of formal education can truly prepare you for what is ahead. Especially, as I've pointed out, given that our world is changing so rapidly. What your graduate education has done, however, is given you the foundation to become a lifelong learner. The only way to prepare for the future and the revolutionary changes which I'm sure are still ahead of us, but which we cannot yet imagine, is to constantly be acquiring new knowledge, to be attaining new skill sets, and to be open to the perspectives, views, and beliefs of those who may be quite different from yourselves, including even your parents, who still may not understand why Snapchat is your favorite form of communication. You will need the skills you have learned in graduate school and the new skills that will become important with the passage of time, because our world is facing many great challenges, including poverty, inequality, disease, pollution, climate change, war, and food insecurity, just to name a few. And specifically in the social realm, the area that I study, we have many new extraordinary situations that are again changing the world as we know it. For instance, we have an unprecedented number of older people in both Western and non-Western countries. According to United Nations predictions, by 2050, not that far away, the number of elderly around the world will exceed the number of children for the first time in history. Some countries will see their populations of the elderly go up to 30%. This will raise questions around intergenerational relationships, around equity, and around caretaking. Simultaneously, we have more women working for pay than ever before. The global female labor force is at almost 40%. And in the United States, approximately 70% of women who have children under the age of 18 are working outside of the home. And men are not necessarily the main economic providers anymore. In fact, in over 40% of US households, women are the main or the only breadwinner. Some of these women are working out of choice. Most of these women are working because of economic necessity. Again, these changes raise questions around relationship formation, parenting, the equitable distribution of household tasks, and most importantly, how we best as a society support families and ensure the physical and mental health of individuals. You, with your newly acquired education, will have to be part of this discussion and part of the solution as we try to adjust to and accommodate these changes. You're the fortunate ones. You've acquired the wonderful education that Buffalo State has to offer. Do you realize that only about 7% of the world's population has a college degree, and about 3% has a master's degree? 3%. Thus, by sitting in your seats today, you have achieved a milestone, and you thought surviving the deep snow was the real feat. But you also now have acquired an enormous privilege. And through having attained this privilege, it is now incumbent on you to make use of this accomplishment. You must take your new knowledge, your new skills, your new connections, and you must use them to make a difference for those who have not had those opportunities. Move forward with confidence in yourself. You now have the tools. For example, you could engage in creating new knowledge that can be applied to solve some of the grand challenges of our time. You could travel to other places and engage with those whose lives are different from yours. But if travel is your choice, then you must exercise cultural humility, and you must also learn from those people that welcome you. You can choose to enter our various educational, political, economic, and community systems in order to change the lives of others. Please remember that from this day forward, it is not just about getting to class on time anymore or meeting the arbitrary deadlines of your assignments. Every action you take, everything that you engage in will have an impact, sometimes locally and sometimes globally. However it is that you choose to engage your learning and skills, keep in mind that we are all in this endeavor together. Globalization may be changing the world beyond that which we could ever have imagined, but the social side, the human side, our relationships with families, with friends, with those we are close to, and those who are far away, that's what ultimately matters. There are two main points I want you to take away from my talk today, besides the fact that I have an accent. One, your education is not finished. In fact, it has only begun. In order to be successful in today's and tomorrow's world, you must remain a lifelong learner. Two, you must use your education and the privileges that come with this tremendous achievement to make a real difference in the world. Never forget, you are now moving about, not just in a campus community, but instead, the whole world is now your platform, and you and I are all members of this community. As you move into the exciting, but also at times terrifying arena of creating your careers in a rapidly changing world, remember, we all have social responsibilities to each other. Because we are increasingly linked to one another, and not just over LinkedIn, what we do matters, not just for ourselves, and it can even have repercussions around the globe. This is not some extraordinary or unattainable idea. I am talking about the social and economic reality of our time. Your beliefs, your actions, your innovations, and your good intent can and will make a difference to others in our complex, interrelated world. We need you, and we are beyond thrilled that you are now ready to go out there to share your knowledge, your skills, your energy, your enthusiasm to improve our world. Welcome to you.
Thank you, Dr. Trask, for those inspiring words. Today is an important day for our graduates. It's a Buffalo State tradition to recognize those who have encouraged and assisted our graduates all along their journey. We now ask the family members, spouses, special friends to stand so that the faculty, staff, and graduates may applaud you on this very important day. And graduates, please take this opportunity to recognize the faculty and staff who encouraged and assisted you along the way. At this time, I'd like to call upon Provost Perot to present the candidates for degrees and certificates.
Before presenting the candidates for degree conferral, I would like to acknowledge anyone with us today who has put themselves in harm's way in service of our country. Many of our military and veteran graduates can be identified by the red, white, and blue honor cords they wear with their regalia today. Would all members of the graduating class who are current or former members of the armed forces please stand? Would all of the current and former members of the armed forces in the audience please also stand and join our military and veteran graduates? On behalf of everyone in the auditorium today, we thank you for your service and for your sacrifice. Thank you again. All right, graduates, 3%ers, are we ready? All right. As Chief Academic Officer of Buffalo State College, it is my duty to certify that each candidate has upheld the academic standards of this institution and that they have fulfilled the requirements for the degrees and certificates for which they are recommended. I do so now and call upon Interim Dean Kevin Miller of the Graduate School to present the candidates for degrees and certificates.
Thank you, Provost Perot. When the candidates hear their respective degrees announced, I ask them to rise and remain standing. Masters of Science in Education. Masters of Science. Masters of Arts. Masters of Public Administration. Masters of Music Education. And will the candidates for the certificates of advanced studies please rise? Madam President, it gives me great pleasure to present these candidates and those in absentia who have completed the requirements of their respective curricula.
Thank you, Provost Perot and Interim Dean Miller. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the State University of New York, and subject to the completion of the requirements set by the faculty, I hereby confer upon you the graduate degree or certificate of advanced study for which you have been recommended. We are pleased to present a diploma to you and all rights and privileges and honors pertaining hereunto. Will our readers, Roger Firestein and Tom Kohler, please come forward? Marshals, please escort the graduates forward so that they may be hooded with their master's degree and be presented their certificates.
Presenting graduates from the School of Education. Hooding for the Adult Education Department, Assistant Professor Audrey Nikashur. Whitney Reed. Sabine Hughes Jones. Jane Cudmore. Michelle Yannick. Patricia Tavaro. Elizabeth Miller. Christina Stevenson. Amita J. Williams. Jennifer Lee Gutierrez. William Horton. Hooding for the Career and Technical Education Department, Lecturer Judith Davis. And hooding for the Career and Educational Technology Department, Associate Professor Steve Macho. Paul Howard Melville. Ronald Kovaleski. Ted Perger. Hooding for the Department of Elementary Education and Reading, Associate Professor Nancy Chicola. Dottie Ost. Amanda Gunn. Kelly Jazanowski. Kelly Spruce.
Hooding for the Educational Leadership Program, Associate Professor Nancy Chicola. Deborah Norwood. Hooding for the Literacy Specialist Program, Associate Professor Kelly Garris York. Tiffany Rain Kwiatkowski. Lindsay Joy Berry. Sarah Cochran. Christine Myers. Megan Fairbend. Elizabeth Hake. Brianna Snyder. Kerrigan Potter. Whitney Tracy. Alexandra Gerbeck. Kristen Webb. Lindsay Carr. Paige Gutt. Catherine Kaboot. Pudding for the Exceptional Education Department, Assistant Professor Kathy Duty. Florence Hawkins. Heather Longfritz. Alicia Bowman.
Eric Degler. Tanya Cowling. Chelsea Kump. Kelly Belair. Claire Castelletti. Emily Ann Fleetwood. Chelsea Irene Card. Hooding for the Department of Exceptional Education, Associate Professor Sharon Budden. Emily Rankin. Joshua True. Sean Elliott McCormick. Michelle Gable. Michelle Eggert. Brittany McGraw. Jenna Bloom. Erica Birdsong. Kayleen Warden. Hooding for the Learning, Design, and Educational Technologies, Professor Ruth Gao. Megan Reisdorf. Morgan Reisdorf. Sorry, Morgan. Presenting graduates from the School of the Professions, hooding for the Criminal Justice Department, Chair and Associate Professor James Sobel. Also hooding for the Criminal Justice Department, Assistant Professor Dae-Young Kim. Hannah Stryker. Eric Dagler. Nina Warrett.
Allison Comerford. Karen Neary. Maria Cumro. Rebecca Paruda. Carolyn Russell. Hooding for the Department of Engineering Technology, Associate Professor John Irshin. Jarrell Ferguson. Vinay Ravindra. Hooding for the Department of Higher Education and Student Affairs, Assistant Professor Amy Wilson. Also hooding for a Higher Education and Student Affairs Administration program, Professor and Chair Kimberly Klein. Chelsea Kettle. Emily Gearhart. Christina Papaleo. Carol Youngs. Colleen Carroll. Sergio Osario. Eric Maldonado. Jetziel Morales. Daniel Shaw. Chelsea Montroyce. Matthew Briers. Keosha Hamlet. Conchata Marie Myers. Rebecca Ann Bretzel. Brianna Ott. Michael Palumbo. Emma Hawk. Joseph Grandy. Danielle Walker. Kai Charisse McCrae. Tabitha Rice. Deja Mormon. Sonia Lyles Johnson.
Hooting for the International Center for Studies in Creativity, Assistant Professor Selchuk Ajar. Also hooting for the International Center for Studies in Creativity, Associate Professor Dr. Susan Keller Mathers. Eugene Ravenel. Fatima Toure. Naja A. Bolden. Chao Chen. Nicholas Drayton. Jonathan Brown. Tamara Dolman. Carrie D'Amico. Isabella Gamati. Teresa Lefko Sprague. Trevor Hahn. Putting for the Speech Language Pathology Department, Department Chair Susan Felsenfeld. Also hooding for the Department of Speech Language Pathology. I need some lessons in that. Speech Language Pathology. Okay, can I come over and visit you folks? Okay. Assistant Professor Dr. Katrina Fisher-Rod. Taylor last name. Taylor Chavan. Ifeanya Tortora. Jacqueline Shalmo. Jennifer Costanza. That's easy. Stephanie McMaster. Charlotte Granito. Dana Solary.
Kelly Jacuzzo. Michelle Hole. Lauren Beckwith. Kimberly Ann Hassett. Courtney Curling. Kimberly Lumpkin. Julie Clonin. Rebecca Crass. Shelby Milkis. Jordan Borowiak. Jessica Liu. Lauren Grace. Maggie Riley. Brittany Probst. Morgan Taylor. Asia Chambers. Catherine Mahoney. Emily Mahoney.
Now presenting graduates from the Graduate School. Hooding for the Multidisciplinary Studies Program, Assistant Professor Audrey Nekashur. Also hooding for the Multidisciplinary Program, Professor Dr. Kevin Raley. Shanice Johnson. Hooding for the Multidisciplinary Studies Program, Program Coordinator Dr. Kimberly Jackson. Jessica Klein. Rachel E. Parker. Hooding for the Multidisciplinary Studies Program, Professor Fred Floss. Timothy Lash. Hooding for the Multidisciplinary Program, Associate Professor Ching Chong. Haijing Lo. Siwan Liu. Hooding for the Multidisciplinary Program, Associate Professor Kevin Williams. Heather Jean McCartney. Hooding for the Multidisciplinary Program, Chair of the Business Department, Michael Littman. Michael Williams. Hooding for the Multidisciplinary Studies Program, Chair of Biology, Martha Skerritts. Khulud Elatihasi. She's a butcher. Hooding for the Multidisciplinary Studies Program, Public Relations Track, Associate Professor Deborah Silverman. Eno Wong. Hooding for the Master's Program in the English Department, Associate Professor Jennifer Ryan Bryant. Hooding for the Department of English, Associate Professor Dr. Peter Ramos. Megan Cole. Now presenting graduates from the School of Arts and Humanities. Emmanuel Abreu. Okay. James. Hooding for the English Education Program, Assistant Professor James Sircone. Also hooding for the English Program, Department of English, Professor Karen Sands O'Connor. William O'Neill White. Elizabeth Madison. Congratulations. Matthew Hahn. Presenting graduates from the School of Natural and Social Sciences, hooding for the Department of Biology, Associate Professor Greg Wadsworth. Also hooding for the Department of Biology, Associate Professor Martha Skerritt. Jennifer Griskowiak. Nancy Tirusignoma. Do it right? Close? Pretty close. Justine Jacoby.
Chris Torres. Hooding for the Department of Applied Economics, Associate Professor of Economics, Dr. Victor Casper. And hooding for Economics and Finance, Professor Fred Floss. Dexter Martin Claxton. Justin L. Nagy. Ray Keene. Howard Merrill III. Hooding for the Department of Great Lakes Ecosystem Science Program, Professor Kelly Frothingham. And also hooding for the Great Lakes Ecosystem Science Program, Professor Randall Snyder. Susan Daniel. Rebecca Josephine Johnson. Julie Victoria Berlinski. Heading for the Department of Museum Studies, Dr. Cynthia Conides. Jennifer Weber. Kirsten Feigl. Evan Wright. Nellie Slocum. Joseph Fry. Hooding for the Department of Science Education, Associate Professor Joseph Zawicki. Matthew Lardo. Angelica Jackson. Stephen Frost. Hooding for the History and Social Studies Education, Professor and Chair, Dr. Andrew Nichols. Bethany Pryor. Michelle De Jesus Reyes. Anthony Sterniolo. Hooding for the Department of Mathematics, Chair and Associate Professor Jane Cushman. Baiji Carell. Kristen Olson. Bokan G. Julia Kosha. Christine Miranda. Alvin Olti Marina. Hooding for the Department of Public Administration, Assistant Professor Suparna Soni. Hooding for the Department of Public Administration and Nonprofit Management, Professor Lori Bonanno. Lauren Picone. Monique Bluford. Julia Stry. Ye Mu Ong. Hooding for the Department of Public Administration and Nonprofit Management, Assistant Professor Ada Cisse and Assistant Professor Jason David Rivera. Kayla Cornell. Sheldon Anderson. Brittany Moore. Monique Owens.
We will now sing the alma mater, followed by the presentation of the class. At that point, we ask that audience members please remain at your seats to enable our graduates and platform party to exit. It's very important that the doorways be kept clear. Please wait to exit, meet your graduates outside the sports arena, and join us for a reception in the Campbell Student Union. You will find the lyrics to Our Finest Hour on the inside front cover of your program. After the alma mater, the graduates will remain standing for the presentation of the class. And now, please stand and join the alumni of Buffalo State College, today's graduates, and members of the Buffalo State Chamber Choir in singing the college alma mater.
With hope on new
Graduates, please remain standing. I have one last duty, which will conclude our 2017 graduate commencement ceremony. Families, friends, distinguished guests, it is my honor to present you the Buffalo State graduating class of 2017.